Still not tall enough. I don't know. I need a custom mic stand up here. Jeez. One more time for Trey Lamb and Kylie Cook, huh? Yeah, it's a good-looking crowd here tonight. Good-looking crowd. Now, to be fair, I am 6'9", so I do see people at the ideal selfie angle pretty much all day. So you might not be as good-looking as I think you are, but don't let that ruin your smile. Could be worse. You could be all the people in the front row seeing me at the worst angle possible. Nobody wants to be seen from down here. I got 8 chins. You can see all the bats in the cave. It's not a good look. Not flattering. Realized something recently. You can tell how old somebody is by the angle of their selfie. This is true. It's like a sundial. It's like scientific. You can measure it. Because young people, where are you at? Clap it up for your young person. There you go. Young people, did you just say she's 50? Wow. Throw your mom under the bus over here. Jeez. She's young at heart. She could probably afford a house though, so she's not like millennial young, but young people, say what you will about Gen Z and millennials, they can't afford a house, healthcare, all this, but they know how to take a good selfie. They know how to keep it high and tight, baby. Keeping that selfie arm strong. But old people, as the sun starts to set on your life, that selfie arm gets a little tired, doesn't it? Phone getting a little heavy. So if you're 55 plus, you just rest it on your stomach. You don't care anymore, you're giving up. Your profile picture on Facebook's just a melted ice cream sandwich version of you, just care. You know what? I think we care too much. I don't know when this happened in America that we care so much about how we look. Because it didn't used to be that way. You used to go on a vacation, your mom would snap a picture, you developed a thing, it's just a blurry her finger. And you were like, that's a good picture of me. Let's send that to grandma, we'll put that in the album, sounds good. Well, I don't know, now people don't put a picture out unless it's got 28.5 filters. You gotta look amazing, you gotta look angelic, you gotta look like a celebrity. Well, I didn't think it was that big a problem, and so I went to Walmart and I saw the missing persons board, and the best, most recent picture they could find of this girl had 3 or 4 filters on it. And I was just like, oh, honey. They're not gonna find you. You don't look like that. Police are out here looking for someone with skin as smooth as a dolphin. They're gonna find Shamu before they find you. It's the saying, give them something to work with. Give them your mole and your butt forehead and your cleft chin. I don't know. I want them to find you. If you're here on a date tonight, round of applause if you're here on a date tonight. There you go. If you're here on a date tonight, if it's a new relationship, okay, before they take you to a second location, you go in the bathroom, you take a filterless selfie, send it to your mom. Just in case. Just in case. I want them to find you. There's some other good perks about being this tall with the selfie angle. Cleavage, great angle for that. Great angle for that. Summer styles are back, baby. Let's bring on the V-neck, And I've noticed things with my angle, like I realize how many women store things in the old brocket, the little bra pocket. And I get it, because women's pants, they got tiny baby pockets. You couldn't fit a Mentos in those things. So they had to innovate, and that's smart. And I've seen, chapstick and tissues and money and the normal stuff, right? Well, last time I had a girlfriend, last time I was happy, me and a girl, we went on a picnic, right? We go out to the picnic, and we're halfway there, and I'm like, oh no, we forgot the food, and we forgot the picnic basket. She's like, no, we didn't. Sandwich. Sandwich. She brought our sandwiches. In the brocket, and I was like, hey, boo-boo. Maybe I'd grab a picnic basket. You guys seem too young to get a Yogi Bear reference. Was TV Land a thing when you were like born or something? It's fine. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I mean, like, I've heard people yell out, like, that's gross. There's not a straight man in this room that wouldn't still eat that sandwich. Like, warm tuna fish, I'll take it. Like, let's go. But after that, I had some trust issues. I started having trust issues, you know? You see a girl and you think, wow, she's very blessed. Very blessed. And you think, like, C cup, maybe D cup? Could be a B cup with a BLT. There's no way to be certain anymore. See a girl with some big old bitties? I call baloney. Baloney. Just wait for you guys to stop laughing. That was a good one. Take your time. I was actually born in Ogden. Yeah. Yeah, the Dirty O, we called it. It was. It's still called
the Dirty O.
It's still called the Dirty O, and that's it's really a reference to how dirty your nostrils get from the dog food smell. But I was born in Ogden, but I did grow up in Brigham City, so I'm trash. Not a nice way to say that. I'm 100% trash, and people say, "Oh, Seth, you mean poor?" You mean poor? It's like, well, no, I mean trash. Like, there's a difference between being trash and being poor. Being poor means you don't got a lot of money. Being trash means you're going to debt for fireworks. Oh, well, that's just a joke. No, my dad went to the store one night he went to go get groceries. He came back with $0 worth of groceries and $400 worth of fireworks. That's the modern day equivalent of trading your last cow for magic beans. My dad came to a show once and I was a little bit worried telling that joke. I was like, he's gonna be sad that we're making fun of us, our trashy growing up. And he came up after the show and he was like, those fireworks were pretty fun though. Yeah? And you know what? Fireworks are gorgeous when you're hungry. I tell you, that's... Ooh, ah! At least I can eat magic beans, Dad. You know, poor people might be able to afford a restaurant as fancy as Chili's. Trash people think Chili's is a fancy restaurant. You know, poor people use a lot of plastic utensils. Trash people wash plastic utensils. I'm sure we all know somebody. My grandma used to wash the little plastic bendy straws. I don't think we should use those twice, Grandma. Not when you use it the first time for vodka. It was just weird. Like, things I grew up with were so normal to me until I went somewhere else. I finally got out of Brigham City. Like, I'm not the brightest crystal in the meth lab, but I did get out. That joke kills in Brigham City. Just a bunch of toothless smiles right back at me. But no, I just grew up just thinking things were normal and then find out they weren't. Like, I still love meat, cheese. That was like a whole food group. Our pyramid was just like meat, cheese, and meat cheese, which is just meat that's had cheese injected into it, you know? What I'm talking about? I still love it. I still those crappy little hot dogs on the gas station on the rollers all day. Yes! Yes, sign me up. Does anyone else? Okay, you guys can pretend like you're better than me. That's fine. No, I went in to grab one the other day, and I don't know if it's a safety precaution for COVID or what, but they had a meat thermometer in the side of the hot dog with a little tiny sign they installed that said, "To guarantee freshness." That doesn't guarantee freshness. I don't need a meat thermometer, I need a meat odometer. I want to know how far this weenie has rolled. Makes sense to me, you know? Anything over a mile, no dice, okay? Can't have my junk food able to go farther than I can. That'd be embarrassing. Oh man, we grew up eating so much cheese, copious amounts of cheese. You know, like to the point that cheese was a meal on its own. Anyone else do cheese plates? Cheese plate, my people! The rest of you guys pretending like you're fancier than me. I'll tell you what cheese plate is. We take a handful of shredded cheese, sprinkle it on a plate, microwave it, eat it with a fork. Yeah, baby. We had that 3 days a week. It was great. You know, and it wouldn't have been a problem. I would have just like grown out of it eventually if that wasn't already a thing for classy people. I went on a date with a girl. First date, I went on a girl. She's like, Seth, let's go on a picnic. Let's get some wine, maybe a cheese plate. And I'm just like, oh. I know how to make that. Finally, my chance to cook. Like, I'm gonna score some major points with this girl. I'm an old Chef Tippetts RD over here. Go back to the kitchen, hit the plate with the Fiesta blend like Salt Bae, you know. You gotta use the Colby, or you gotta use the Fiesta blend. You can't go skimping on a classy lady with Colby Jack. That would. Here's the thing, guys. There's not a good way to learn what the word charcuterie means. That was probably the worst way. I was like, here's your cheese plate, madam. I'm leaving. Oh, okay, good. Not to get gross with you guys, I've alluded to this a little bit, but I'm sure you can guess. Family full of giants eating mostly cheese. We had some issues. We had some plumbing issues, I guess is a nice way to put it. Did everyone else not have insurance policies on their toilets? Does that have life insurance policy on the old porcelain throne? And again, I didn't know that was weird. I didn't know other people ate vegetables, you know, like. So I went to a friend's house in college, and I went to the bathroom, and I was like, "You got one plunger in your entire house? One. You got one. That's risky, man. I don't know. I don't like to live on the edge like that. Because you know what? Growing up, 2 per station, baby, just in case." You never know when you're going to need a tag team partner going 3 rounds in the white ring. Gotta keep the beat. It's like CPR. Staying alive. Your turn. Mom, I need another plunger. And a towel you're not that attached to. You know, I didn't take Ogden for the crowd that would get grossed out at a poop joke, but here we are. Don't worry, there's more. Now, another thing is the toilet sound effect. I was talking with some comic friends of mine. We talk about dumb stuff, and one of my friends, he was like, well, that's not it. That's not it at all. You're missing the entire second act. The most important part of the toilet sound is the choke, okay? Every single toilet goes. Every toilet makes that noise. No one ever remembers the choke because all you guys had fiber. Well, good for you. Because when you eat a cheese plate, you're listening for the choke. That's a very important moment for you. Because most people, they feel a little anxiety when they gotta go, and then once it's out, they feel better. Not me. It's gotta be down and out, okay? It's gotta be in the pipes, because if you sit down and you hear and silence, that's the sound of panic. That is the floodwaters are rising. You gotta get your tag team partner in here. You gotta have Moses clear the Brown Sea, you know? It's like, parents are getting old. I think my parents are old. Everyone's parents are always getting older. My parents have become old recently. Like my dad, he's like 80% phlegm now. You know what I'm talking about? Old guys just sitting in a chair, just. We call animal control, Dad? Choking on a squirrel? What's going on? He recently did something bad. This can't be a good sign. He started getting the meat sweats. Any old guy, like, you know meat sweats when an old guy is just resting heart rate, but he's eating a steak and it just looks like he ran the Boston Marathon. Just dripping on the steak. It's like, wow, this thing's really salty. That's you, Dad. Maybe you should cool it on the meats. You don't gotta be Arby's every day, jeez. Because he has the meats. I don't know if this is as normal of an old guy thing, but recently my dad said he wants to start a religion. Yeah, I didn't think so. That's Seemed a little weird. And that conversation didn't really start in the best way, probably the worst way. It was like, Seth, I want to do a religion. It's going to be a big thing. It's going to be great. It's like, oh, what are the tenets of your religion? Oh, love and kindness and blah, 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 and marijuana. And I was like, wait a minute. And then he said, so Seth, it's not a pyramid scheme, but nothing ever comes after it's not a pyramid scheme besides a pyramid scheme. Like 100% of the time, he was just like, okay, so it's about spheres, and I'm in the center sphere. And there's a sphere outside of that sphere, and those people give me $20. And there's another sphere outside of that sphere, and they give their friends $20, and then they give me some of that money. I was like, that's a pyramid scheme. A sphere-imid scheme, I guess. He's like, well, sorry, I mean, it's not. You're not listening. There's spheres. I was like, you cut a sphere 3 times, you got 8 pyramids. It's worse than a pyramid scheme. Okay, not a geometry joke, crowd. That's fine. My mom used to be the voice of reason. Back when we were blowing crap up with fireworks and stuff, like she used to be the one that was like, maybe don't, you know? And as she's gotten older, she's become, you know, I feel myself being the parent in more situations. Like, for context, she's got this old nasty cat. It's got diabetes. It's on its last leg, literally. It's a diabetes joke. I don't have time for you guys to all get that, but we go into Walmart and someone's giving away a box of kittens, right? And my mom's like, oh, Seth, I should get a kitten. Look at him, he's so cute, his little whiskers. There's no reason I shouldn't. And I'm just like, Mom, you have to finish your old cat before you start a new one. It was a weird childhood growing up, because it wasn't, like I said, had nothing to do with being poor. Like, we would have been trash anyway. You add money to a trash person, you just get a trash person that owns a tiger, right? Like, it's not, they don't invest the money. They're like, I'm gonna buy an amusement park for only me. Like, they're not smart with the money. And the thing is, like, my dad, he was self-employed, you know, all grown up. And so his best year ever, he made $200,000. That's a life-changing amount of money for some people. That was just a lot of fireworks that year. I went blind that year. It was great. And then his worst year ever, he made $19,000, right? And normally, like, if you have that kind of dip, you have, I don't know, savings or something. We just had to ride that roller coaster. Just rich kid, poor kid, you know? Lucky Charms, Marshmallow Mateys. Kool-Aid, Flavor Aid. Cheddar, American. You know how old I was before I realized American was supposed, like, made in America was supposed to be like a good thing, because I'd only tried the cheese. If anything tastes like it's made in China, it's American cheese. Called it plastic cheese growing up. Anyone else call it? Maybe you guys are better than me. I don't know. You're like, what's American cheese? I've only had Gouda. And my parents, they had to get creative on those bad years, especially around Christmas time, you know. I think it's normal to lie to your kids a little bit around Christmas. You know, when Christmas rolls around, you start telling them stories about Santa Claus, right? Normal. Christmas time would roll around in my house growing up, and my dad would start telling us we were Jewish. We just believed him, you know. I thought I was Jewish. I did. I like all the way going back, you know. He's, oh, Seth, we had a long line of Jews. We were the first Jews to move to Utah way back, you know. And I think he had some doubts, because he named me Seth, traditionally Jewish name, but then he named my younger brother Christian. That feels like a bit of an afterlife hedge, doesn't it? Not really sure how it's going to work out. I named my kids stuff. I don't know. I think my dad Bibled off more than he could Jew. We took the DNA test, you know, because you can't lie to your kids nowadays. We got too much fact checking, right? Took the DNA test, came back, says I'm 8% Jewish. Yeah, that's not enough, Dad. That's not enough. Get out of Christmas for 18 years. I mean, 8% is nothing. It's not Jewish, this is Jew-esque. This is Jew-adjacent, adjacent. It's like, Dad, 8%, this is Bubkiss, okay? I'm schwitzing over here. I'm not Jewish. I don't understand. I work at Ancestry.com now, so I futzed with the data a little bit. I came in there 100% Jewish, more Jewish than Bernie Sanders, okay? I'm no longer 8% of the 1% billionaires, okay? I'm 100% Jewish. Mazel tov, that's right. Mazel tov. Oh, man. Yeah, and on the DNA test, the thing that really stood out to me more than the Jewish stuff, said I had more Neanderthal DNA than 80% of people who took the test. That's an easy way to lose your smile for the month. That's not good news. I'm just staring at these results over my furrowed brow, my large forehead, my underdeveloped temporal lobe. And I just said to myself, I don't see it. As a Neanderthal American, I have dealt with my fair share of prejudice. I was typecast a lot. I was a theater kid growing up, and I auditioned for Beauty and the Beast. Of course, I got cast as Gaston. Big shocker there. Right from the moment when I met her, saw her, I said she's gorgeous, and I fell. Here in town, there's only she who is beautiful as me. So I'm making plans, so you guys get the point. That was fantastic, but it's true, LeFou. And I've got my sights set on that one. The inventor's daughter, she's the one. I'll do the whole show, I know it still. You guys, we came to see Seth Tippetts, but Beauty and the Beast was good too. It was the second half of Beauty and the Beast. He didn't get to the part where Gaston died. I don't know why. Somehow he was the hero of the story for him. It was a great role. I had so much fun playing that role. It really blew the lid off Draper Amphitheater. But people have been telling me since I was very, very little, well, very young, that'd be a great Gaston. I always took it as a compliment. People were like, oh, Seth, yeah, you'd be great. That's a great role. I was like, yeah, because I'm big and I'm manly and I can sing. And they're like, no, because you're illiterate and rude to women. It's not even acting for you, Seth. Of course, that's just a joke. I'm not rude to women. Broads, so sensitive. It was a lot of fun, that show. I can't remember what I was going to talk about next. How was your guys' pandemic? That's the new how's the weather, right? She's just like, oh, did your enemies die? My favorite response, I said, how was your pandemic? And some guy's like, best one yet. Were you around for the Spanish flu? That guy's patient zero for the bubonic plague. I don't know. And I had friends. I had friends that had a great pandemic, and they wouldn't shut up about it on Facebook. New variant, new me, and I'm just like, shut up, okay? I don't care about your sourdough and all your crap. Because people, I learned to make a sourdough. I learned French. I lost a bunch of weight. I did not have a good pandemic, not at all. I lost my wife. Why are you laughing at that? In your defense, she's not dead. We just got divorced. So she's dead to me. It probably still counts as the COVID-related death of the CDC, but so a little behind the curtain, that's what's known in the industry as a tester joke, and if you laughed at that, you tested conservative. I'm sorry, that's probably more testing than conservatives have been used to for the last 4 years, but I apologize for testing you without your consent. These jokes are just like coronavirus. They kill disproportionately in red states. I got everybody. I got the reds, I got the blues. You all hate me equally. That's the goal. To dig myself out of a hole. That's, I don't know. Politically, I don't know where you lean, but I am always afraid of nukes. Anyone else afraid of nukes constantly? And I realized, like, with the Russia stuff especially, like, that's when I started being like, oh gosh, like, I should live every day, like, a little bit better. 2 cheese plates every day. Like, it's got. But then I realized, like, I should have been worried about this for a lot longer. Because we've had 2 geriatric geezers with their hand on the nuclear codes in a row. We're still here, which is good, but that could have ended a long time ago, you know? All it would have taken is, I'm sorry, Nukes, you're fired. Oh no! Even if you're Trump people, that's a great Trump joke, okay? Like that's not political at all. It's an apprentice joke, basically. Now, I don't know if there's any Biden people left at this point because he doesn't know where he is, and I'm just waiting. I mean, like, all it's going to take is one morning he wakes up without his coffee, Joe doesn't get his Joe, and he's just going to go into the nuke room and be like, oh, that's weird. It's kind of malarkey. I don't remember having to turn 2 keys to call Hunter. No! Joe! Like, can't you just go back to smelling children? Like, what? Wherever you are politically, I will take smelling children over nuclear holocaust, okay?
Back of the truck.
Back of the truck?
Truck train.
Truck what?
Truck train.
Are you saying words? Trump. I just like insulted the guy that's like Hodor, but he can only say Trump. Like I don't. Trump. I don't know if you guys actually watched Game of Thrones. I think I saw just that episode, so. There you go, HBO fans. This really went off the rails a little bit. I don't know. I mean, my pandemic could have been worse. I mean, neither me and my ex-wife, neither of us ever got the coronavirus, but clearly she lost her sense of taste. She took weird stuff from me in the divorce. Like, when you split up, like, I get it. It's always going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. She was very nice about most of everything, and so I was very just like, you can take whatever you need. But she took weird stuff, like my whisk. Well, you couldn't go to IKEA and just buy your own $3 whisk. Like, I found out because I was making breakfast for a girl, and I was like, I can make a Maine French toast. And it was a lot less impressive with a fork, you know? Like, I thought you said you make money, Seth. She took my ping pong paddles, but not the table. It's like she just didn't want me to have fun after she was gone. And in my crevice of like sad bachelor life, I was just making a lot of pizzas. And I went to the store, bought a lot of those frozen pizzas, and I came home and I made one for the first time. I was like, where the hell's the oven mitts? I had 6 oven mitts, and she took all 6. I have no idea why. I have no idea what her thought process was. And like, but I'm being petty now. So I mean, I guess I got the last laugh. But one of the weirder things, she took, we had a pride flag. We had a pride flag that we would put out in June, you know? And she took the flag, not the pole. And that's fine. And I haven't bought a new one, not because I'm not an ally, but mostly because I don't need my neighbors knowing I don't have a gun if the apocalypse happens. I'm just saying, it's like, hey look, that guy has food with no defenses. He's got a pride flag. Thank you, 2 people. We got 3 right there. Oh, I'm ramping it up, baby. I got 3 of you to give me applause break on the pride flag joke. And is that because you're pro-gay or anti-gay? I have no idea. I guess we'll find out. Oh man, dating again's been kind of rough for old Sethy T, because being this tall is not the easiest thing to advertise. Because especially being 6'9", everyone's like, well, that's a joke, and it's like, it's not. That's a position that being this tall precludes me from. 69. Okay, you guys just didn't get it. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a good joke, and you're all just like, when's the funny part? And the thing is, every girl on Tinder's 5'2", professional photographer. That's not my demographic, okay? Having an Instagram account doesn't make you professional anything, Brittany. Like, I can't date someone that short. People say, oh, Seth, if you're cutting off short women, that's just, you don't even want to be in love anymore, do you? It's like, no, I do, but like, there's logistics problems with someone that short. Like, I have comedian friends. I can't post a picture of us online skipping down the street with flowers. All my comedian friends, what a fun daddy-daughter date. Nope, I'm out. Hard pass. That's why I think I need a new app. I need an app that's Tinder, but just for tall people. I already got a great name picked out. I'm gonna call it Redwoods, all right? And none of this swiping left and right crap. You swipe up if they're tall enough. And you swipe down if you want to get down. I say, wait. There's no option for no in this app of yours? Well, when you're this tall, not a lot of options, okay? Can't be that picky. It's just me and a 6'3" girl named Helga who can bench press a fridge. Every time you match on this app, it'll just say, Timber! Your standards just fell. Now, the dating apps now, you can filter out more things. You know, I filter out religious folks, not because I don't love religious people, that's not who I'm looking for, you know? Problem with that is it leaves spiritual girls, which is just a blanket umbrella for any bullshit they believe. Like, astrology, you know, essential oils, or as I call them, smelly placebos. You got crystals, you got chiropractic, like it's all just a bunch of crap. Chiropractor crowd here, huh? That's usually a punchline. I had a chiropractor come up to me after the show once, and he was just like, oh, you know you make a joke about chiropractor, but like it's legit. And I was like, no, it's not. And he was like he was a chiropractor. I was like, you've wasted your life. But I wanted to get out of the conversation because he's one of those like really fast talking, like, blah, 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 and I'm just like, and so I was trying to concede. I was about to say, some chiropractors I'm sure are fine. He cut me off on and said, fantastic. And I was like, no. Don't you adjust my sentence. I don't want to come back to this in a week. The girls, the spiritual girls, I don't get it, man, because like I went on a date with this girl and she believed in a lot of, you know, tarot cards and all this malarkey, right? And at some point she's like, you know, my best friend's actually a Chinese doctor. And I was like, I think you could just say doctor. I don't think you need to play the race card on a PhD, you know? Like, she's like, no, Seth, she's white. She's like, she doesn't practice Western medicine. She practices acupuncture and crystal healing. He's like, oh, so she's not a doctor. You should have led with that. I'm bitter about chiropractors because I've had a bad back my whole life, and I've spent so much money, and it helped me 0%. Like 0%. I finally went to a neurologist to see like what the real issue was because the chiropractors weren't doing anything with their witch voodoo, and you know, there's just that's $50. Like I feel worse. Like, and so I went to a neurologist, took an X-ray of my body, which I'd never had done before, and it was just interesting to me. I'd never seen such a parenthesis of a spine. I have the worst scoliosis. It's just like, wah. Like when I look at myself, I never noticed this, I don't know why, but when I look in the mirror at my naked body, it's always just kind of like it looks like my skeleton's got some attitude. It's like trying to line up the towers of Hanoi. And now I know why, you know, it's because my spine is horribly misshapen, and I want to find somebody, I want to find a girl who's got the opposite scoliosis. Close down that parenthesis, you know? Call it my scolio-CD, but, so So I'm looking at this X-ray, and off to the side of my horrible spine, I see a big dark area, right? And I've watched the doctor shows. I'm thinking, oh, that's cancer. That's gotta be cancer. Most people have a filter, and they just keep stupid stuff to themselves. I was like, hey, doc, is that cancer? He didn't even look up from his clipboard. He's like, nope, that's gas. Good. I was testing you. I'm very glad I asked that in front of all the nurses, ladies. A little aside on this joke, there's more to the joke, but a little aside, my ex-wife hated that punchline. She hated me to the ladies, which is such a throwaway nothing line, right? And she's like, why are you just assuming all women or all nurses are women? I was like, because those ones were. Like, there was 3 women nurses. I'm not assuming gender. Like, she was very woke, and I kind of hate that because it kills comedy. I was like, what did you want me to change the punchline to? You know, genderless blobs? Like, I don't know. Just move on with your life. It's a one line. Anyway. So I embarrassed myself in front of everybody. I go back in the waiting room. I'm thinking to myself, that doctor, he's stupid. He's stupid. I don't even have to fart. And then I did. Because science. And so I'm just thinking, like, it's the little waiting room. I have 30 minutes minimum, right? The first time in my history of going to the doctor, I'm cheesing it off. He walks right back in. He says, he looked up from his clipboard that time. There was a look. And there's nothing more adrenaline pumping than trying to lie your way out of a fart. My mind was racing. It was like methamphetamine, just boom. I was just like, there's a gas leak in the building. No. You won't believe that at all. And I panicked, and I froze up, and my quick brain got me nothing, and so I just went with the classic. I was like, it wasn't me. Oh my gosh, guys, he called my bluff so hard. He says, wasn't you, huh? We can take another X-ray. It's impossible to lie to somebody who's literally seen your fart. You can't do it. He who's seen it split. There's going to be something that rhymes at some point, but dealt it, smelt it kind of thing. There's got to be something. He who visuals it, I got nothing. Oh man, yeah. Dayton was interesting. And then those science girls, man. I feel like I need a science app. They got Christian Mingle. I need like carbon dating or something. You know, combine it with Redwoods. Carbon dating Redwoods. You know, people say, wait a minute, I thought this app just tells you how old trees are. It does. I'm 30. I don't know. I went on a date with a girl who didn't believe in dinosaurs. Yeah. She was like, dinosaur bones were put here by God to test our faith. And I was like, your dad works in an oil field. I don't know, man. One of the worst dates I ever went on was went on a date with a girl that lived in the BYU dorms. We got any BYU people up here? Good. Oh, you just were about to like raise your hand and say something instead of. No. You wasn't gonna say nothing. You just got thrown out. You didn't go to BYU?
No, I am going.
Oh, you're going there now. But, well, buckle up. You're about to learn some things. But here's the thing. I didn't know how strict the rules are with BYU because I went to the University of Utah. I'm a heathen. There you go. Yeah, I actually played basketball at the University of Utah. I did. Before you think I'm big time, I was a walk-on, which, if you don't know what that means I had front row seats and matching jerseys. But good stats, though. Good stats for a walk-on, like CPM, claps per minute. Good job, guys. I was on the team for a year and a half, so for a year and a half, my name was Seth. That's how black guys say on the team said Seth for some reason. I just went with it. I was like, yeah, I'm Seth. Until one day one of my teammates was like, man, Seth, you a thug. And I was like, Wait. You just said thug. That's got a TH in it. You could have been saying my name right this whole time. You just chose not to. I said, man, shut up, Seth. Talk to me like that on my birthday. There you go. BYU, I made some mistakes though. I went on this date with this girl at BYU, and I knew it wasn't going to work out. You know, it was never going to work out. This was the 5'2" girl from the other story. She was looking down and just like, nah, this is not. And she was cute. She was cute, real head turner. Like when I tried to kiss her, but. So I show up on the date, and I immediately made the worst mistake I guess you can make in the BYU dorms. I was like, hi, and she's like, just a second, and just come in for a second. So I walked into her house, and I thought she wanted me to come all the way in, because she walked into her bedroom, and I walked into her bedroom, and she was like, whoa, Seth, where do you think you're going? That's a little presumptuous. And I was like, what? She's like, you almost crossed the Chastity Arch. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Tell me it's wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. The Chastity Arch. I was so confused. I had no idea what that was. And I was like, the Chastity Arch? What is that? And then she calmed down because at this point, there's a teaching moment for her. Proselyting, you know? It's like, well, Seth, the Chastity Arch is a doorway that goes in all the bedrooms. We never let anyone of the opposite gender through, and that way nothing bad ever happens. We can always go to the back seat of my Satan-mobile. No one's ever thought of that loophole before BYU? You gotta think outside the box, okay? That's what college is for. Think outside the box. Is it ironic to make out with a Mormon girl in the back of a white Kia Soul? Maybe. Of course, I feel some of you guys tensing up. It's okay. You don't have to talk to your bishop tomorrow. It's fine. Unclench your butts. It's fine. These are just jokes. We're all here to laugh. I'm joking. I would never fit in the back seat of a car. Growing up in Utah, round of applause, you grew up in Utah. So let's talk about sex a little bit. It's gonna be a short sex joke, just a short bit, 5 minutes tops, 3 if I haven't done it in a while. Quick sex joke, okay? Here's the thing, I grew up in Utah, sex ed prepared me for nothing. Absolutely nothing. And my dad, people are like, well, it's the parents' responsibility. My dad did not help. That was -4. He made it more confusing. He came downstairs one day, and I still remember this very clearly. It was our sex talk. Me and my brother sitting on the computer doing stuff. He comes in, pokes his head in the room. Hey, you guys know how sex works, right? And we're 12 and 10, and we're just like, and then he just does finger gestures. And then just kind of finger guns and saddled out of there. Whole thing lasted 4.5 seconds. That was my sex talk. Which didn't prepare me at all. The first time I was in a situation, I was a virgin for a long time because I had no idea what what was a signal that things were gonna happen, I was making out with this girl, things are going well as far as I can assume, we're making out, She whispers in my ear, she says, hey Seth, just so you know, I have an IUD, so I'm ready to go. I didn't know what that was. I had no idea what she meant. I'm not proud about this. I paused the makeout to go Google it. I went to the bathroom, IUD, because in my mind I'm just like, is that a certification? That's a weird flex for the bedroom. You're telling me about your certifications. You're like, I have an IUD. I have a GED. Big deal. Big deal. Is an IUD like a CDL? I don't know. Can you drive a submarine? Welcome to the Navy. I don't Cool. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your cervix. There you go. And so I'm just, and then I had another thought. I'm just like, maybe she's so drunk she said DUI in the wrong order. I have an IUD. It's fine, honey. I can drive. So I Google it. Results come up. Says intrauterine device. I don't know about you guys, but the word device conjures some images in my mind. I don't know, like a brick of C4, maybe. In retrospect, I realized I was thinking IED. I mean, if both of those fail, either way, it's blowing up your family. But and I was just like, is she threatening me right now? Like, I thought things were going well. She's like, I have an IUD. It's a new age chastity belt. You know, it used to prevent you from getting in. Now it's like, if you get in, the whole apartment building's coming down. Risky business. The only thing they told me in sex ed is if you have sex, you'll die. And they were right. And a lot like that night, this joke has no climax. So, that's it. It's the whole joke. Did we survive BYU? Did your face implode with redness? Are you good? You're good. All right. She knows how to party. I feel weird saying that. She looks like she's 12. The reason me and my ex-wife, big reason we got divorced that was irreconcilable was she didn't want to have kids. And that was the plan growing up. We were always going to start a family. After 5 years, decided she didn't want to do that. And that's probably for the best. It's better than having kids and not loving them, then they just grow up to be comedians. Tell me it's not true. Look at Trey Lamb. He's hilarious. You guys don't. I sometimes feel people get sad at that. I'm just like, you don't know my life. My mom, she was 6'4", built like a fridge, loved like one too. Very cold woman. 18 cubic feet, my mom. You know, she Energy Star compliant, my mom. But her crisper didn't keep the eggs fresh. I'm just saying, if it did, you wouldn't be looking at Easter Island up here, okay? I have issues. I need a prescription hat, all right? Like, it's a problem. I wish my ex-wife the best. She ended up moving to South Korea, like maybe a couple months after we got divorced, to teach kindergarten, which I thought was kind of weird, because I'm just like, oh, you just didn't want my kids. And in her defense, 3 of my kids is probably the equivalent of 30 South Korean children. The math checks out. Kids, you can't tell kids that they can do whatever they want. Not like in a behavior way, but in like their dreams way. That's a bad idea. People say, oh, Seth, you followed your dream. This was not my dream. This was not my dream. I wanted to be in NASA. I wanted to be an astronaut. And my parents were like, you can do it, Seth. No, I can't, okay? Why on earth would NASA spend the same amount of money to send my 300-pound butt into space when they can send the entire U.S. gymnastics team for the same price? Don't tell your kids they can do anything they want. It's not going to happen, okay? I don't know. What do you do?
I'm a forklift operator.
And what was your dream job? Ever since I was a little boy, I love forks and lifts. You didn't have a dream job? That's probably why you became a forklift operator.
I actually wanted to be a comedian for a long time.
It's never too late. All your friends are saying it's too late. They're shaking their head like, don't encourage him, for the love of God! I don't know. I've thought a lot about having a family for obvious reasons, and I think it's important to name your kids something good. I live in Utah County now. People be naming their kids some weird crap. I don't know if it's just millennials. And like I don't identify as a millennial, which is maybe the most millennial thing anyone's ever said. But a close second was, does this avocado toast count as a down payment? But, a little too close to home there, BYU. And it's I don't know. They had to add like an emoji to the printer for birth certificates in Lehigh. It's my cousin's actually here tonight, and my cousin they named their kid Calyx. You're as confused as I am. That doesn't sound like a human child's name. That sounds like an antidepressant. Like that's. Are you sad? Try Calyx. Symptoms include being sad for 18 more years. I don't know, something tells me that kid's gonna be SSRI'd. That's a joke for the depressed people in the room. If you understood that joke, you get a hug after the show. That's how it works. Little selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor joke for Ogden. You guys can do it. I had another friend up in Brigham City, named their kid Truckson. Like of all the places, that's the place that someone's like, good and solid name. I asked him, I was like, why Truckson? He's like, well, we really like the name Carson. But we wanted something more manly. I don't really know what I'm going to accomplish in my life, but I know I can die happy if Truckson grows up to drive a Prius. Again, I don't know where you guys are politically. Is this a vaccine crowd? Anti-vaccine crowd? You don't give a shit? That's what does that mean? Like you're like, I don't know, put a needle in my arm if I walk by. I'm a big fan of the new anti-vaxxer conspiracy theorists. They're a lot of fun because they push out all the old ones, right? Like you don't hear about the old ones anymore. What was the old thing? People used to say that vaccines cause
Autism.
right? Firstly, what's the big deal with a little bit of autism? I'll take autism over polio, like I will. And also, I'm a programmer for my day job. Very nice people. They make good money. And secondly, it's a spectrum, right? Autism spectrum. So chances are in this room, there's several of us that have a touch of the tism. Like you'd say in the old country, a touch of the tism to you. And you'd kiss the Blarney Stone and avoid eye contact the rest of the day. The new anti-vaxxer is a lot of fun because here's the thing. If you're an anti-vaxxer for like all those old diseases, I hate you. You're stupid. But if you're an anti-vaxxer for like COVID, it's new. And that's all you have to tell me. You just have to say, it's new, I'm a little afraid. That's a perfectly valid excuse. But for some reason, everyone who doesn't want a vaccine took it the extra mile that they didn't need to take it. It's just like, oh, did you know that Bill Gates is putting a 5G chip in your arm? You don't want that? I want that. That sounds fantastic. You have bad call quality? Hold on, let me raise my COVID arm. Let me see what... Yeah, is this a little better? Can you hear me now? That's why I think we should just give all the anti-vaxxer people a placebo shot. Give them a placebo shot, put them at ease. You know, tell them it cures whatever bullcrap they believe, right? You're like, oh, this stops it from causing autism, because it never did, right? Secrets? Who cares? Use science to fight dumb, right? And if they're one of the 5G chip people, you say, cancels your Verizon account. Great! You say, Seth, you're just gonna give people a placebo? You're just gonna give them saline in a shot? I think that's dishonest. I call it a solution. I love someone explaining it over here. A saline solution. Like contact lenses. Just as funny the 8th time. That's. I'm a little bit worried. I'm going to go out in the parking lot after the show and have some crazy anti-vaxxer come up and just like shank me with a syringe full of measles. But then I remembered I don't have to worry because I'm vaccinated. You guys have been a great crowd. But after the show, if you guys want to come say hello, I do give out cheese plate stickers. Come grab a cheese plate. Follow me on social media at Seth Tippetts. 2 P's, 2 T's, like toilet paper. And there's got to be a better mnemonic than toilet paper. Post on Instagram, TikTok. For young people, I'm on Instagram and TikTok. For old people, I'm on Facebook. And for the ladies, I'm on Hinge. I'll leave you guys with this one. I have a lot of respect for gay folks, man. A lot of respect. It's got to be tough coming out of the closet. At this point, I think everybody's got a friend, a relative, a neighbor that's gay. And it's got to be tough because you can't know what your parents are going to react like. You can't know. The closest thing I've been through was telling my parents I wanted to be a comedian. There was a lot of crying. That was not a good conversation. Come home from college one day, I was like, Mom, Dad, I have some news. I think you should sit down. I want to stand up. I want to be a comedian. I think my mom's like, well, Seth, how long have you known you were funny? Well, Mom, I think I've always known, deep down. I don't understand. You were funny as a teenager, but we thought it was just a phase. I can't believe you would choose this life, Seth. Whoa, Mom, that's a little ignorant. It's not a choice. Okay, Mom, you're either born funny or you're not. Everyone who thinks it's a choice, that's why open mic sucks, okay? Not a choice. Are you born funny?
I have my moments.
You have your moments? Probably not then. If you're one of those people who's like, you had to be there. I don't know if this is for you. Seth, I can't help but feel like you're doing this for attention. Yeah. What clued you in? Would it have killed you to give me a hug, Frigidaire? Maybe I wouldn't be a comedian if you loved me a little bit. A little aside, my mom, I posted that joke about her being a fridge on the internet, and her coworkers found it. So now there's an office hashtag on Slack that says, Charlene is not a fridge. I need to make some Char's not a fridge stickers. That sounds like a good selling point. Oh no, after I told my parents I was a comedian, I was the black sheep of the family. That was not a good time. And then thankfully, my brother declared his major as ballet. Woo! Really took the heat off Il Gigante, I tell you. You know, best part about my brother being a ballerino, took the heat off. It's better to be the black sheep now than it is to be the black swan in the Tippetts house. I respect my brother, because it takes balls to be a male ballerino. And while he's dancing, everyone can see those balls. He's out there, and it's just like, oh, you're pretty leotarded out there, brother. I don't know. I can see why they call it the Nutcracker. A very moving performance. You know, I make people laugh. So does he. My brother's actually here tonight filming for me. Round of applause for my brother. Christian the atheist. My parents didn't see that one through, did they? I love my parents. I feel bad for them though, because they just, you know, we're all disappointments, me and my siblings. My mom wanted us to be something good, like a forklift driver, but... But no, she gets 3 loser kids in the arts. And she's so disappointed in all of us. Thankfully, I'm at the top of that scale because she gets free tickets. But my, it's so she got comedian, ballerino, and my sister is a filmmaker in LA, which is a fancy way of saying homeless. But what a great shot under the bridge! Thankfully, none of us ever got to the bottom of my mom's scale, which is Vivint salesman. So could be worse. We got some people that are offended. Where's your flat brim hat? I don't know where you gotta protect me from the anti-vaxxers and the flat brims after the show, okay? In the parking lot, I think I can outrun the bros because they do skip leg day. But all I know is if I'm in an alley later tonight in Ogden and I smell Axe body spray, I'll know it's over. You guys are wonderful. Thanks so much. I'm Seth Tippetts.